Buenos dias from San Miguel de Allende. I am here with Alejandro Anaya, and we are going to talk about the workshop that we're doing in August called Artistic Tools and Techniques.
Exactly. Hi, Megan.
Hi.
Yeah, the thing is, to get to know different tools and techniques, most of all, tools that you can get locally and very easily that will enhance your work and add something to it, different textures, different look and feel, but that make a real difference.
So, for example, I am an urban sketcher and I hang out with urban sketchers, and by and large the techniques that we use are black ink, and then we fill in with watercolor, which is amazing and gives all kinds of results, and lots of people I know are developing their own style with it. But just having seen some of your work and some of the results you get by using some different techniques, I thought it was important for us to collaborate. So I, as an urban sketcher, as a sketcher, I can learn about some of these tools and techniques that you have fully explored and have pretty much sourced locally.
Exactly. These are things you can find anywhere. Some of them are not even in an art store. You can get them at a hardware store.
Really?
Yes, you can use a nail, you can use pretty much a cutter just to make a few changes to your work, and you can get incredibly different results.
Yeah, so Alejandro is using all kinds of like smudge sticks and watercolor sticks and pens, and he's really well adept, is that the right word?
Yes.
In fountain pens. And so he has given me a pen that I'm going to be taking to Amsterdam with me, and a Kuna. Am I saying that right?
Kakuno.
Kakuna. Hakuna Matata,
Hakuna
right?
Matata,
Don't worry. Don't worry, be happy, right? So what I've done a few simple sketches here, and I'm going to now use some of the tools that Alejandro is going to be sharing with us all, and then we'll take a look at it in a few minutes, okay? Bye. It just adds to it. Okay, so we took a little break here so that I did a quick urban sketch here at La Sacristia, which is where oftentimes you'll find Alejandro hanging out, making his art and his daily practice. So I did a simple sketch sitting here in my normal style, but then using, Alejandro gave me instruction on how to use some of the tools and techniques that he's going to be sharing with us in the workshop that's at the end of August. So if you can see, there's like different textures, and I'll post this later. I was able to get some really interesting textures and dramatic darks, okay? And it wasn't so much about painting exactly and getting right colors. It was more having a bold sketch.
Exactly. It's putting little details that will make a big difference on your day-to-day sketches.
And so like you had us using smudge sticks and waxes and dental instruments that you don't want to be caught without. What else?
A cutter.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you want to travel with X-Acto knives, but just, I guess you can get the same sort of thing with a pick.
A nail, a needle, you can get that, you know, anywhere.
Cheap brushes that just add interesting textures. Fountain pens. Alejandro he's very well versed in the world of fountain pens. And while these are the most expensive, well, that's a brush. No, that's not a brush pen. We also use a lot of brush pens, okay? And so a lot of sketchers were terrified of brush pens because you go a little heavy on it and everything's wrecked, right? And at first I thought I wrecked his head, which this really doesn't look like Alejandro. It looks more like a terrorist, so I'm very sorry. It's not you.
No.
He's not a terrorist. No, don't go that way, me. But what was I saying? It was, so I went really dark with things that, like, I was nervous about it, but really he's got so many tools and techniques that he helped me get through this sketch. And what's really great too is a lot of these things you got most of these things except for the fancy fountain pens.
Yes.
you got right here in town.
Exactly. You can get them in town. We have a couple of art supply stores, and some of these things are, you know, very, very, very cheap. 12 pesos, maybe.
Yeah.
50 cents or 70
Yeah, we
cents.
love cheap things,
Yeah.
right?
But the other thing is, some of these things you can, as you mentioned, the dental thing, some of them you can get, you know, a hardware store.
Well, you
in
could
your house.
also, like traveling, you may not want a dental thing, but maybe a toothpick.
Exactly.
If it's a, you know, strong enough one.
Yeah, a plastic toothpick. You know, many of these things will give you some big impact on your watercolor.
And that's exactly what this workshop is all about. Big impact, using some easily carried around tools and easily accessed. Yeah, I recommend you look up Alejandro on Instagram because he has an amazing body of work. These were just some examples he did while we were sitting here. And so we're gonna wrap it up now, but I'm just really excited to be taking some of these tools to Amsterdam and trying some of these simple ways to add big drama to my sketches. So thank you so much, Alejandro. It's Artistic Tools and Techniques with Alejandro Anaya in San Miguel de Allende, August 29th.
Yes.
And it's on the website now. Okay, thank you. Say adios.
Adios.
Okay, adios.